and welcome to Ewe Sew You. My name's Zoe and this is my channel about all the crafting I get up to. I knit, I spin, I sew, I weave, I crochet occasionally, I'm learning to spin on a drop spindle. So yeah, there's all sorts of different things that you'll come across in this channel. Welcome back for returning viewers, and if you are new to the channel, welcome here. I'd like to think this is a welcoming environment for people of all backgrounds. Obviously some of you may be aware there's been discussions of that over in the knitting community, largely that the community is dominated in terms of the public face by white people, and I'd say the same is probably true when it comes to the sewing community as well, but there seems to be less of a discussion over there as there has been in the knitting industry. If you hop over to Ravelry and to Instagram, you'll see loads of information about it and loads of more relevant discussion than I'm going to include in this video, just because I'm not really, to my mind, the best placed person to explain it all, and there's loads of people who've actually done a really good job of doing that, so by all means go and pop over to Instagram, pop over to Ravelry and educate yourselves about what's been going on if you're not aware of the discussion already. With that being said, I'm not going to dwell on it, just know that whoever you are, whatever your background, my door is open and you are welcome here, and if that doesn't feel like it's the case, let me know. In the meantime, let's get moving on to the crafty contents. Okay, so I have a couple of finished objects this week. One of them I don't have to hand and one of them I do. So let's start with the one that I have. I have now finished a project that I cast on before Christmas, and that is the candy cane socks by Knitting Expat. These I got free when I joined the season sock club. I'm just waiting for the new pattern to drop for February, which will drop on the 1st, I believe, which is Friday. These are knitted in Fairy Realm yarn in their Christmas tree colourway, which is this lovely green with speckles, and it came as a sock set with the contrasting mini for the heels, toes and cuffs. So I'm really pleased with these. One thing I have noticed is that the twisted stitches have less give than I'm used to in socks, so they are a little bit, they're not hard to get on, but they're a little bit harder than most of my socks are, so it's worth bearing that in mind when you're knitting them. I haven't blocked these yet, so they may loosen up a little bit with blocking, and they should loosen up a little bit with wear, I would imagine. But just be aware, if your feet are towards the top end of your shoe size, you might want to think about a couple of extra stitches just for give. But in general, nice easy pattern, as Mina's generally are, because you can remember quite easily what the next row is. You don't have to keep referencing the pattern, which is fab. So there's my socks ready to block. Just finished last night, as I say. The other finished project, I don't have to hand because my other half's been wearing it. I have finally finished Forest Hill by Erica Knight, which I knitted in patterns Aran Superfine Merino in a grey. It's a cabled and textured pattern. Next time I knit it, I'm going to put a few short rows across the shoulders, I believe. He's got quite a curve in his back where he's so tall. I didn't account for that when I knitted the back, so the back rides up more than the front. But overall it's a good fit, and he now has a jumper that fits him properly around the body and has the right length sleeves, so yay. So that's all my finished projects for this week, other than the one that I am wearing, which I'm not going to go into too much detail about. This is my Minerva project, and they send me fabric and in return I write a blog for their website, so keep an eye out over there. Just to say that this is a textured jersey with a non-directional print, it's got guitars and coffee cups and all sorts all over it, and it does have a subtle texture to it. It's not a heavyweight jersey, so it's quite a drapey garment, and I've made the toaster sweater using the Simplicity version of the pattern that came with Sew magazine a few months ago. But yeah, quick, easy make, quite happy with it, but I'll give more details over on Minerva's blog, as that is the deal that I have with them. And moving on to my works in progress. So I've actually focused mainly on the socks, this top and the jumper for my other half this week, partly because the jumper was actually due for his birthday at the end of December, so it's a little bit on the late side. But I am planning on finishing off some longer term whips over the next month, rather than starting too many new projects. I will obviously be casting on socks, but I want to clear some needles off before I get too heavily into new stuff. There may be one or two like small things going on, but I'm not planning on starting any more jumpers and shawls until I've finished the ones that I've already cast on. So first whip I'm intending to finish is in this Alice in Wonderland project bag. I can't remember the name of the maker, which is really bad. I'll look it up and I'll pop it on the screen if I find it. It's from Etsy, and it comes with these progress keepers on the front, all Alice themed, and it's a really roomy, really nice bag, so I tend to use this for larger projects. In here I have the Changes shawl by Mina Phillip, Lintic Expat. As you can see, I have done all of this side. I've got some ends to trim once it's blocked, but they are all woven in on this side. And on this side, I've got most of the stripy bit done. Not about half of the stripy bit done. So I need to get that one finished. That's my next project. The colourway in the middle is Pixelated Unicorn by Gamercraft, which I'm really quite pleased with. It's about one skein, just under one skein in the middle, and then the other's gone into the striped and textured section. So that's done quite well yardage wise, and I believe the minis were mostly from Shepherd's Hut, but again I will confirm on screen. And one of the minis came with Pixelated Unicorn. So yeah, again I'm really pleased with how this is going. It's a bit crumpled at the moment because it's been languishing in the project bag for a while, but I like the fun textures. It's a lot more colourful than most of my shawls, so I'm thinking for spring this is going to be a good lighter weight shawl than the alpaca I'm wearing most of the time at the moment. So that's the next project I am aiming to finish, other than socks. So yes, that should be done this month. It's not a complex pattern, I just need to get on with it and get it done before I pick up the Oracle shawl that I've also started, but that's a bit more complex. I'm also aiming to get some crochet blankets finished, but I'm not going to show you those at the moment because they're huge. One with a temperature blanket, which I'm hoping to get finished by the end of March, April, before the weather gets warm. That's all the temperatures of 2018, and I'm about 6 months behind. And the other one is a bit more ornate and complex, so I need the headspace for that, so that will be coming a little bit later in the year, I hope. So moving on to my plans for what's coming up. I need to ball up some yarn for the next season Sock Club pattern, which I say is due out on Friday. I'm going to ball up this yarn, which is Spink and Forcible with a speckled mini, and that's by Buttoned Up and Pinned Down. Let's get my fingers out of the way. Okay, so that's, I feel this is a nice sort of springy colourway. The spring, summer and autumn socks are all going to be done in Pinned Up and Buttoned Down yarn. I am assuming that Mina's doing spring next because she's just done winter. And this is going to be my colourway for the spring socks. And obviously if it ends up being the autumn ones coming out next and we go through the year backwards, that's fine. I've got the yarn ready for that as well. So I'll be doing that a little bit later on today. And I've got some vanilla socks to cast on as well. So I have 2 pairs of socks on the go this month. And that's pretty much my plans. Finishing up the whips and doing some socks. knitting wise anyway. Sewing wise, I've got a journey dress that I'm planning to make for my next Minerva project. The fabric's on the way for that. I've still got a whole list of things that I plan to make towards the end of last year that I haven't done yet, like the Landor pants, some style arc tops and dresses, the Overpeen as well by Deer and Doe. So I've got quite a few things on my list for sewing, so that should keep me going for the next few months. So I've got the fabric already for that, so that should be good. Weaving wise, I'm planning on looping up the Inkle loom in the next few days, and my other weaving plans relate more to my acquisitions this week. Since I saw you last, I have acquired a book. This book, Weaving Within Reach, which is a series of projects for weaving, some requiring a loom, some not, some where you turn a found object into a loom, some where you're just weaving completely without a loom at all. So I'm hoping to have a go at some of these projects in the next couple of months, possibly using my other acquisition, which was very inexpensive, and it's a Trimmet frame loom. It's not the biggest frame loom, it's not the most expensive frame loom, it's not the most famous brand frame loom, but they all seem to be much of a muchness as far as I can tell from the sort of novice, untrained eye. So I figured this would be a good one to start with. It's not too small, not too huge. I'll be able to do wall hangings and tea towels and that kind of thing on this loom. It came with some accessories. So it came with some warp thread for the first project, and it came with a weaving comb, so you use that to push down the weft to make sure it's lying straight. It came with a shuttle to pass your weft through, and a weaving tapestry weaving needle, which is a huge eye in it, actually see through it. So also put things through on the weft, and a shed changer gadget thing. I don't know if this has got a proper name, but you basically warp up the loom, and much like I do with the Inkle loom when I'm raising the warp and dropping the warp to make different sheds, you can do the same thing with this. You just sort of roll it and it will lift and lower alternate warp threads. So yeah, so it should be quite simple to use. I should be able to make enough fabric to make sort of small bags out of. I could probably do a couple of same size bits of fabric to make cushion covers, as I say, tablecloths, placemats, and more ornamental things as well. So I'm looking forward to having a go at that. I know you guys all really liked my warping up the Inkle loom videos. I am planning on doing some more Inkle weaving videos, and I'll be doing some more on the frame loom as well, so you can see how that works. So the next couple of weeks there may well be more sort of specific to one craft videos, sort of learn weaving with me type things, rather than a roundup of what's going on, but we'll see how it goes. So until then, I hope you have a great week, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.